If you are a healthcare startup or an established business, you are probably asking, how can AI help us earn more or cut expenses? Most companies don't even know where to start. You are probably asking the following questions. Is our case strong enough? What's involved in building these systems? And how much would it cost? And the main question, what's real return on investment? In this video, I will show you real cases on how healthcare organizations implemented AI and saved money. We will figure out how to understand if your organization needs AI and how you can make it work. What are possible solutions on the market and how much they typically cost? First, let me demonstrate several real-life examples so you can understand what's working right now. Providence Health, a non-profit system of 51 hospitals, was losing valuable operating room hours because surgeons blocked time in advance but often didn't cancel when they no longer needed it. Without real-time visibility, staff couldn't easily identify which time slots were actually available, making it difficult to reassign or fill those operating rooms with other cases. To solve this, Providence implemented IQ, an AI-powered platform integrated with Epic. The system flagged unused time blocks and helped staff proactively fill open slots. This approach reduced unused OR time by 30%, enabling around 6,000 additional surgeries over 10 months and added millions in new revenue, all without hiring extra staff. Another example, Ohio Health. A non-profit network of 16 hospitals was facing delays in discharging patients because its manual workflows in Epic made it difficult to identify and resolve common bottlenecks, such as delays in therapy, transport, or post-acute placement. To address this, Ohio Health implemented inpatient capacity solution from Quentus, embedded directly within Epic. The platform provided real-time visibility into discharge delays and helped staff proactively coordinate each step of the process. As a result, Ohio Health freed up an average of 23 beds per day, avoided more than 8,000 excess inpatient days, and saved more than $3 million in the first year. Avera McKinnon, the flagship hospital with 545 beds, was struggling with overwhelmed utilization review staff and no real-time reporting for executives. They rolled out an AI solution that prioritizes chart reviews, flags delays early, and creates clear clinical dashboards. As a result, nurses saved over an hour per case, review capacity increased without adding staff, and the system avoided around $44 million in costs over 3 years. Okay, you may be thinking, that sounds impressive for big players making billions, but what about my health tech startup or mid-sized clinic? How do I even identify the right AI opportunities? How do I pick the highest impact projects without spending all the money in the world? And how do I actually build them successfully? In the next section, I will share a 6-step roadmap that works for both startups and established organizations. It guides you through finding, prioritizing, and implementing AI projects and making sure they deliver real value. The steps are: spot opportunities, prioritize cases, explore solutions, build your ROI model, pilot and integrate, and finally measure, scale, and repeat. Now let's dive into each step one by one. So, how do we spot opportunities? We start by looking at our daily work and noticing tasks that take a lot of time and feel repetitive. Think about your usual workflows and ask yourself, if we could automate this, would it help us work faster or save money and time? For example, this could be things like scheduling appointments, updating billing details, charting, or entering patient information. Then, ask if any of this could also help bring in more revenue. Maybe a custom dashboard that predicts trends, a virtual triage bot, or a tool that shows personalized care ideas. As you come up with ideas, write them down in one place without judging. At this stage, you are just collecting possible opportunities before deciding which ones to focus on. Now, when you have a list of ideas, it's time to pick the ones with the most potential. Ask yourself, if we automate this, how much money and time could we save? Could it reduce manual work, speed up decisions, or bring in new revenue? How much money could it make? Next, think about how easy or hard it would be to do. Do we have the data we need? Is the process simple or complicated? Could there be any compliance issues? You don't need perfect answers, just enough to help decide what to focus on first. Start with cases that have a big impact but are easy to do to get quick results. Also, remember that some projects take longer but can help you grow much more in the long run. After you pick your best idea, start by defining what success looks like. Is it saving staff time, improving patient satisfaction index, or increasing revenue? Clear, quantifiable goals will help you measure if your solution is working. Next, consider whether this problem is common across healthcare. If it is, there may already be ready-made solutions that can save you time and money. If your idea is unique or more complex, you might need to develop custom automation or build a new solution. Then, research what's already available. Are there companies effectively solving this problem? If not, consider creating a small test project to validate your idea. Finally, based on your goals and research, decide what to do. Use a ready-made product, create automation workflows, or build a custom solution. And be sure to plan for compliance with the regulations like HIPAA and GDPR to protect patient data. Okay, now that you have defined the success metrics, it's time to build your return on investment model. First, figure out your current baseline. How much time, money, or efforts does this process take right now? Ask your vendor or tech team how much this solution will cost. Then estimate the benefits. How much time will it save? How many more patients can you serve? How many mistakes could you avoid, and how much extra revenue could it bring? Once you know the cost and benefits, you can calculate your ROI and when you will break even. Most good healthcare AI projects pay for themselves in 12 to 18 months. Once you have calculated your ROI, you are ready for the next step, the pilot. So start by outlining your proof of concept, POC, how it can look like. POC, it's a small version of the product that has only core features but can provide you the value that you are aiming for. So describe how it can work and think how you can build it. Make sure that the pilot runs in a HIPAA compliant environment from day one, because it's often happened that even if you start with non-patient data or de-identified data, the project evolves and then you start working with real patient data. Work with your tech team or vendor to figure out what this POC can look like and how can it work. So for example, if you plan to build a custom solution, your POC could be just a basic automation using platforms such as N8N. So after you have this pilot ready, use it with real users. So run the pilot with just one department or team to see how things work in real life. Find someone in that team who you can call your champion. So it's a person who believes in a solution, who is excited about it, and who can help you to onboard new users, gather feedback, and also suggest improvements. So when you bring new users in, explain them and describe them the purpose, not just the features. And as they use the pilot, track the numbers and the results tied to your goals in some document. So, for example, how much time did it save? How many claims submissions did you automate? Track all these results because then there would be a basis to calculate your ROI. And remember that this is just phase one. It's not a final product. Think of it like an experiment. And use what you learned to decide whether to scale up or make some changes to basically pivot from your initial vision. After you run your POC from 4 to 8 weeks or more time you think is sufficient to prove and see the real results, you will have the data to compare it to your starting point. So at this stage you can ask yourself, were you able to save the time you expected, or were you able to automate the number of claims you wanted, or bring in more clients or more patients. Let the numbers speak for themselves. And if the POC proves that your idea actually works, it's time to scale. That might mean upgrading from a simple workflow to a full vendor solution, or continue with a custom build. And as you scale, make sure that each department has their champion, as someone who is responsible for tracking key metrics, collecting regular data, and sharing feedback from staff and clinicians. And once this one use case is up and running and you want to scale it in other departments, basically follow the same cycle where you spot opportunities, you prioritize cases, you'll explore solutions, build your ROI model, you build pilot, and then see it in action and compare the actual ROI to the planned one. Now, let's review the possible options you can go when you choose a solution. First, if your task is common in healthcare, like operating room scheduling or discharge planning, you might use a proven vendor solution like IQ or Quentus Inpatient. These tools deliver fast ROI at scale and come with compliance ready out of the box. Next, if your goal is more workflow automation rather than full clinical AI, consider a self-hosted platforms such as N8N. It lets you build automation quickly, keep all data in-house, and avoid large license fees. For example, it can be like one clinic built an automation that reads appointment requests, determines the right department via large language model, books the slot in Google Calendar, and sends SMS message confirmation, and it's all done within N8N and without handling any sensitive patient data. And finally, when your needs are unique or deeply integrated, for example, you might want to check insurance approvals automatically, get AI help suggesting treatment options, or manage complicated billing cases, a custom AI build could be the right choice. Each path aligns differently with cost, speed, and technical ownership. Now, let's discuss what does it cost to bring AI into your clinic or health tech startup. Let's break down the options along with their pros and cons. So the first option is off-the-shelf solution like IQ or Quentus. This is big budget route. Setup costs range from $50K to $250K, and annual subscriptions can hit $500,000 to $2 million or more. What you get? A full platform with built-in compliance, hosting, system integrations, updates, and support. It's ready to go. Great for large health systems with lots of discharges or operating rooms. So pros, that it's fast to launch, it comes with support, and it has strong track record of success in big hospitals. The cons, that it's very expensive, you can't customize much, and you are tied to their system. So for most startups or SMBs, it's overkill. The second option is an automation platforms such as N8N or Keragon. With N8N, you can self-host for full control over your server, data, and HIPAA compliance, but you will need to manage the infrastructure yourself. Keragon is a cloud-hosted healthcare-oriented platform that handles hosting and security for you, so you don't manage servers yourself. Setup costs range from 5K to 30K, with annual fees around 12K to 30K, depending on hosting and support. Both options require a technical team to build and maintain automations. They are great for startup or tech-savvy clinics wanting flexibility and lower ongoing costs, and when you have kind of straightforward and pretty standard workflows. But don't expect drag-and-drop simplicity. Some technical work is needed. Option 3 is low-code or robotic processes automation platforms like UiPath or Workato. Setup costs typically range from 10K to 50K, with annual fees between 5 and 100K, depending on usage. These platforms offer drag-and-drop tools that make development faster and easier. They integrate with many systems, and vendors often provide support for security and HIPAA compliance. However, compliance isn't automatic. You will need to work with vendors to ensure everything is secure. Also, costs can rise quickly as you scale, and you will still need skilled staff to build and maintain workflows. Since these tools aren't made just for healthcare, you might need extra work to customize them. Option 4 is custom-built AI system. Now, if you are solving a totally unique problem or building the next health tech product you want to scale, you will need a custom system. Expect to spend from 50K to 200K for the first version, the minimum viable product. And more complex projects can cost from 300K to 500K depending on the scope. Maintenance costs vary based on how much new work you do, or if you just keep things running. So it can start at around 20K per year. This option gives you full control over how the system works, and you also own intellectual property. You decide what to build next, and you might have a long-term advantage. So, for example, you can sell this product in the future, or with the help of it, you can get some strategic advantage on the market. But also, it means that you need a skilled and dependable engineering team to build and maintain it. So, what is the best option for you? If you are a large healthcare system and you solve a typical problem, then off-the-shelf solution can bring you results fast and may worth the cost. If your workflows are pretty standard and you don't need a full integrated IT system, then automation platforms or low-code tools can help you show results quickly. And if you're creating something new for the market or want the most tailored solution, then a custom AI platform is the way to go. So I know that it all may sound a bit general, and you may still have questions such as how can I pick the right solution for my specific case, or how to calculate ROI correctly, or how can I choose a model and make it work in a HIPAA compliant environment. And if that's you, please drop a question in the comments section, and I will be glad to answer all of them. And if you're a startup founder or a business executive exploring AI, hit subscribe. In the upcoming episodes, I will walk you through how to go from prototype to full-scale product, how to avoid costly mistakes, and build reliable and secure and scalable systems. And if you're already planning to build or launch a product and need advice, I will leave a Calendly link in the description, so book a call and we can talk. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next ones.